Hello everyone, what is up guys, and welcome to part 2, or episode 2 of Palia Recreations. Now of course I'm going to go over today with something that I've been working on for a little while, which is Viridian City, from Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow. Now of course I'll just quickly zoom out, I'll show you the full map for this. Now this is what I've been working on. It has been a little bit of time. Obviously it's taken for me to sort of get the hang of this, you know, and try to position everything around everywhere, in comparison to when I did Kakariko Village. For anybody who remembers seeing that, that took a long time. Obviously this didn't take quite as long as I'd been sort of on and off with playing Palia, but of course now there's all the extras and stuff in the game, which is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I will obviously leave a link down below, of course, when this gets uploaded to YouTube, for anybody who wants to see Kakariko Village, because sadly I don't have the video saved. So basically it would be linked to my Twitch account. So if you, of course, you do want to follow on Twitch or anything like that, you know, there's a good opportunity to do so. Just check out the link, of course, down in the about section or the info section of the video. But of course, moving on to this, of course, we'll go over the bird's eye view of the map, and I'll go over everything with you guys just afterwards. So first of all, to sort of put this in perspective, with Viridian City, it is a mixture of Let's Go Eevee / Let's Go Pikachu and Red, Blue, and Yellow, and maybe a little bit of Fire Red, Leaf Green as well. Kind of get some ideas from there. So there are, of course, a few changes as well, depending on what I have with the resources that I have in the game. As always, the same as when I did Kakariko Village, there were, of course, some bits that were missing. Anyways, moving on to this. So the first thing, let's talk about the buildings. Of course, here we've got the Pokemon Center. As you can see, all these are done with the appropriate colors for the roofs and stuff as well, which ideally they were in this game, so that was great, due to an update. So this is the Pokemon Center, of course. You have the mart over here, or the Pokemart. You have the two random houses over here, or the two random buildings, one of those being a house, one of those being a school in Viridian City, and then of course the gym. And of course we've got all the trees. So this here, this was in, I think it's Fire Red, Leaf Green, same as this as well, but of course we couldn't add more trees because of the size of the harvest houses. We had to fit everything in due to the size of the plot. Now of course I've added an extra tree over here for a little bit more perspective, because normally this area here, this area over here is normally where the path goes up to Victory Road, around that way, but also this has sort of a rocky area. So as you can see here, now adding all this fencing along here and this up here is where in Pokemon games you get to jump off the ledge to the bit below, and this fencing area is pretty standard. Now of course the other change I've done here as well is with the flowers around here. Now normally these would be like bushes and stuff, but the best thing I could do was have these flowers, the gardenia flowers. These were actually very, very good. I thought it suited it really fine. There is a bit of a change, of course, with the bushes as well, just to sort of give you a heads up, but I'll go over that, you know, as we're going. And then of course we've got 3 benches here. Now normally this would have been 1 bench because these would have been a lot closer together, but again, this is just based on the harvest houses as well, the size of those, and there's nothing of course I could do about that. Then of course down here I put tiger lilies here, and this of course was meant to be like a flower area or a flower bed sort of area in Viridian City as well, but that's kind of putting that into perspective. Now just one more thing I just need to quickly do. There we go, to make sure that's on the screen. Sorry about that, guys. Right, let's go through everything just to quickly show you guys. So first of all, we have this little signpost right here. Not really worth talking about, but it is, of course, in Viridian City. Then, of course, this area here is meant to be sort of a pond area, but there is no water to put here. Hopefully, we can do this in the future. That's something I would like to see. And then, of course, as mentioned here, we've got the extra tree here to add a bit more perspective to the size of the area. So add a bit more to it. Then, of course, we've got the extra trees over here. So as you can see, there's a lot of trees here, and this, like I said, I think was from Fire Red, Leaf Green. Then, of course, we'll sort of go through everything as we're going, but we'll go inside the buildings first. Now, of course, in this one, just to sort of quickly look around, we've got looking a little bit barren here, but of course, you need to have the machine for the healing your Pokemon here. And of course, obviously, there would be Nurse Joy around here with Chansey. This side here, of course, is where you would have the link battles, if anybody remembers from the Game Boy games. So with Red, Blue, and Yellow. So that would be basically that. Then of course we've got a sofa over here, or a nice couch. Let's have a quick sit down. There we go. Then of course we've got the plants as well, as you can see over here. And this is the nearest flooring that I could have, of course, to match what was in the original Game Boy game. Or the original Game Boy games. Then of course we've got the what is this thing? An industrial runner. See, I can never remember what these are called, guys, but yeah, you have the runners in sort of the doors as well as normal. And of course, we have a lamppost here, and that's from Let's Go Eevee / Let's Go Pikachu. Got the plants up the side here. Again, that's the best I can sort of do with those. And you can see these bushes as well. These look really, really nice. I think they go very, very well, actually, probably the nearest thing to, you know, comparing to the games and stuff. So it's done really well. Of course, another lamppost now. With these plants on the floor, normally there's meant to be 3 over on the right hand side here, but because of the way the door is and we can't move the doors and stuff, one had to go on this other side to kind of sort of compensate that. Now with these 2 green buildings, of course, I did add bay windows to add a bit more atmosphere to the buildings themselves as well, make them a bit more sort of lifelike, if you will. Now looking in here, of course, we've got a runner on the floor. This is basically the classroom in here. We've got the clock up here, we've got the desks here, the nearest you can genuinely find, I think, in the game so far. Then, of course, you've got a bookcase over here. Unfortunately, you can't put books on the bookcase at the moment, which really sucks. Now, you'll notice there are a bunch of pictures around. Now, these are basically to replace the posters that you would see on the walls inside each of the buildings. Now, this isn't the only one that, of course, I've done this with. There are, of course, at least a couple of others as well. But this basically is this in a nutshell. So we'll just quickly do sort of a circle around. You've got the plants in the corner here. And like I said, with the bay windows, I feel they add a bit more sort of life to the room as well. You know, a bit more light in there as well, which is really cool. Now, of course, as you can see over here, before we go to the other one, this here, now this isn't normally shaped like this, but again, it adds perspective and stuff to, you know, what's meant to actually be here instead. Normally there's 3 large bushes, I think 2 in front and 1 behind, and I tried to match the shape of that, but it really didn't go well. So I thought, let's make a square of gardenia flowers, and yeah, it looks a lot nicer, I think, based on what the game sort of offers. And of course, we've got 3 benches here instead of the normal one. Like I said, the harvest houses, nothing I can do about that. The sizes are just genuinely one size. And then, of course, we've got more around here as well. So looking in here, then, this, of course, is the family house. So you would come into this house here, and it would have everything here. So as you can see, I've sort of messed around. We've got the desk here. This is the nearest, of course, I can have with the lampshade. Then, of course, we've got a pot here. And then, of course, we've got the clock here. We've got what would normally be a poster here, but again, we're using the frames. And then, of course, we've got another desk sort of there. But this would be where the TV normally is in the room. Unfortunately, they don't have TVs in this game, but we've added the shelving here just in case. It is supposed to be like a unit, kind of like this, but this looked a lot better. And then, of course, just adding another one of these, which is like too big. Then, of course, we've got the sort of pantry area where we've used one of these basically to put all of the plates and the bowls into, and the cups. Adds a bit more atmosphere. And of course, this, which is very similar to what's normally in the room as well. So there's that. And then, of course, we've got the cooker and stuff over here. I've tried to add a bit of atmosphere on here to make it sort of, you know, at least lifelike or very similar to what you would expect from Viridian City as well, with the general design of the house. Then, of course, we've changed all the colors. As you can see, we've got the blue here and we've got the blue here. This is to kind of match what's in the game as well when you go into Let's Go Eevee. We've got the bin for some reason with the lid open. There we go. I didn't realize this was open, but there we go. Goes through the wall as well. And then what's supposed to be a poster here as well. Now on the floor, of course, with the rugs, I've made them green because, well, that's the nearest we're sort of going to get in terms of color, because the rugs on the floor, the runners, are green. Slightly different design, but of course, that's generally what they are. Now, of course, on this table here, we've got the, what is this thing? Fruit basket. Yeah. Fruit basket was the nearest thing, of course, we could add, but there is meant to be like a bowl of fruit on the table. And of course, we've got the chairs and the table itself as well. So I feel like it's pretty good. This one, I'm pretty happy with the way this one's gone. It just sucked about the Pokemon Center. It looked a little bit bare, but you know, just making the best of what I can do with the resources that I'm given. But doing this is a lot of fun. So then moving on, of course, around the back of here, I think. Nope, there's nothing there. Right, okay. So moving on, then we've got the gym. So we've got the bushes here. Now, normally this fencing would be down a little bit more. And again, that comes down to spacing and stuff like that in the game, and you know what's sort of parallel with you know what's what in the game and stuff. So then, of course, we've got the lamppost over here. We've got the other bushes here. And then we're going to go into here. Now, this is something I've changed. And of course, you can see the statues here. We've made good use of the chapters. Of course, we've only got the green and the blue one. So we don't have two in matching colors, which kind of sucks. Added all the lights around here, very similar to what's in Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu. With the lamppost, of course, there. But then, of course, what we've done is we've made good use of barrels. And to make it as best as we can, that keeps with like the traditional fashion of what's in Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu, we've made a maze. So I'm just going to go around this maze, actually. I've got some dead ends around here as well to try and make this, you know, as close as possible. Because I tried it before where I was using the barrels and trying to imagine there were the zippers there, the ones that lead you in certain directions. Unfortunately, it really didn't look good. So what we've done is basically just gone with the barrels. This would be normally where the gym leader is, all the way there, but you know, it's a little bit of fun. Adds to a bit more of the charm of the gym as well, and I think it does genuinely look a lot better. But yeah, that's basically the gym. Then, of course, over here, guys, we're going down here now. This tree, of course, I was silly enough not to make it fully grown, so we'll let it grow. But yeah, thankfully we can, you know, start to have some more extras and stuff in the game. So like the flowers and the trees and stuff like that, the way that they've sort of done this. But yeah, there's a tree normally here. And of course, we have got the shopping center or the Pokemon. Now, this is the nearest I could really do with this. I had to use the homestead sideboards. This was the nearest thing that I, of course, could use for when they normally have the items all stacked and the layout of it and everything. And of course, you can see the flooring as well, the tiling. It's very similar to the general design of the flooring that's in the Game Boy game. There's normally 2 large posters here. We were able to get a couple of these, which is great. So these are like large posters. Then of course we've got the plant in this corner. Over here we've got a couple of bookcases here. And obviously this room would normally be shaped different, but we've again tried to improvise on this. There would normally be a poster in the corner where it's kind of slanted rather than like just a corner basically. And then of course we've got these match up. These are the fridges, I think, in the Pokemon, so where all the items are. We've got no items in here at the moment. And then of course we've matched up the color with the shelves and of course the counter area as well. And then of course we've got more posters technically sort of behind there, making good use of the frames, and of course the double shelving. And then of course we've got the flower bed here. So this one basically is originally wasn't going to be here, but obviously I'd waited until the flowers came into the game. That's basically why it took a little bit longer to get this done. So waiting for the new update. But luckily, we've got this now, which is absolutely fantastic. And I'm super happy with that. But yeah, that's basically Viridian City, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Like I said, if you do want to check episode 1, or you want to check part 1, do feel free to check the Twitch link, which I will leave in the description on the YouTube video. Of course, if you are watching this on Twitch, then it will be from about a month ago that you'll be able to see the video. But anyways, guys, until next time, obviously I'll be doing more of these as well. And yeah, hopefully I'll catch you guys for the next one. Bye!